All praises to Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the nation of Israel. And I was literally just like 10, 20 seconds ago listening to one of the apostles' video, and it was getting me charged up, man. Right? And I started thinking about how these people over here in the UK are proud, man. Right? And their freedoms are going to be taken away. And I've seen a couple of like over the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing a couple of these videos of these auditors and these people that they just go up to random people that they don't know from anywhere with a camera, recording them, making snide remarks about people that they see on the street, just going up to them with a camera. And when the people, rightly so, right, are saying, I don't want to be recorded, they're saying, it's the law, mate, right? As if that's a reason, and that means that what they're doing is now right. But the time's gonna come where them going and being able to just go up to people and record with a camera is not going to be legal, right? These people don't understand that the time's going to come where being able to just go up to and record with a camera, that's going to be considered wrong. And them same people that was was going around and being assholes because they can go around and record people, right? And trying to antagonize people to get content for YouTube to make money. Them people are going to get humbled, man. Right? And the apostle was also going into these proud holes, and he mentioned a scenario that I've experienced within these last couple of weeks, man. And it was a scenario where you're just out in public and you are looking around and you accidentally look in a woman's direction, man, and you see the woman get proud as if he was trying to holler at her, and you're thinking to yourself, bitch, I wasn't even interested in you, ho. I'm looking around in general, paying attention to my surroundings. But you're getting gassed up thinking that someone's trying to, you know what I mean? And on the women topic, a lot of these women actually don't understand how insignificant they already are and how insignificant they're going to become. Right? A lot of women are actually are absolutely proud, but they're actually nothing. Like they're actually not anything important at all in the grand scheme of things on this earth. But they're proud, man, and it's absolutely ridiculous, man. Like the people that have done the greatest works on this earth are the Hebrew Israelites, man. Right? They're the people that have been telling the truth. And I'm not even putting myself in that number when I say this, but the Hebrew Israelites have been the ones that have been telling the truth about things, man. But let's go to some scriptures anyway, man. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. And the scriptures speak about unjust balances and abomination unto Yahweh. And there's a couple of men that have been at ease. There's a lot of men in this world that have been at ease as well, man. Right? Men that have been at ease, being careless sons. They need to give ear unto the speech of Yahweh by Shemer Shai as well, man. Because they're gonna get humbled. Right? And then there's other people that are not considered Yahweh's sons or daughters, but they're people of the heathen, right, of the Gentiles, and they're gonna get humbled as well, man. All these auditors and the people that go around, these YouTubers, these influencers that they go around just recording people, good doing in life real streams, saying L chat. They just got to like this world, yeah. Like it's mad. People in this world will cry about immigration. I want the world to go back to what it was like, mate. I want to go back in time, mate, to when it was this and when it was that. Okay, some people, did these same people that say that ever think that some people want to go back in time where you don't just go up to people with a camera and randomly start recording them, man? Just going up to people with a camera that are minding their business in their everyday life and recording them. Just recording people with a camera, and then when they say, what are you doing? You're acting like they're the asshole. No, you are. You're coming up to a stranger that you don't know, and then their excuse will be, oh, there's CCTV around. But the CCTV that's around is not being used to be sent to YouTube to make money. It's not the same. They'll make out like it's the same, but it's not the same. The CCTV cameras that are around ain't talking to you, are you? Are they? And asking you about things that you don't, and talking to you when you don't want to talk to them. The CCTV camera ain't got arms and legs. Like, these people are scumbags, man, and they act like they're good people. They pretend like they feign like they're trying to blah blah this and blah blah that. But you're not. You're one thing you'll notice the difference between the Hebrew Israelites, especially those of the people like those in the men in Great Millstone, which I'm not a member of, by the way, right? But Great Millstone don't charge people to learn the word. They don't charge you for a Hebrew name. They don't charge you to get a breakdown. If you ask them a question, they're not gonna charge you. They're not going to charge you. But these auditors and all these influencers and these in-life real streamers, IRL streamers and all that, right? They're only doing that for money. Then you wouldn't have iShow Speed barking like a dog if he wasn't getting money for it. You wouldn't be having all these Jakes that go around, these influencers like Aiden Ross and Neon, play like their LGBT community, LG3T community, and right? For money. You wouldn't have them doing all this stuff. They change up for the camera, and they antagonize for the camera these auditors and these guys that record crackheads. And then when the crackhead pulls up on them, they slap them in their face and kick them in their belly and that, and then claim self-defense. They're doing that for money. They do things for money. They antagonize and try and say words and do more and more for money. They wouldn't just talk like that in a real life situation when they're walking down the street minding their business. And then these same guys that will complain and say stuff like, "Oh," that they'll say like, what's some of the stuff that they say? They say, "Oh, it's the law, mate. I can record." Right? Okay, if that's what you want to come with, then if you're just walking down the street with your family, how would you feel if somebody just came up to you with a camera and started recording when you're just minding your business with your family, and when you're not streaming for YouTube? How would you feel if somebody else now wants to stream for their YouTube, wants to come up to you with a camera and have your family all on the screen and have you all up on the screen, man, when you're just minding your business going throughout your day? And that's what I mean with these people. As long as money's involved, people are always going to be demons, man. And that's why the apostles of Great Millstone have told men, don't try and monetize the truth. Because once you try and monetize it, and that becomes your daily bread dosage now, then you're going to start changing up things for money's sake. You're going to be prepared to lie or omit or not mention certain parts of the doctrine because if I mention that thing, then it's gonna not give me as much money. Every time I do a video trying to big up the sisters, the the sisterhood and all that, right? Still lucky. Here. Every time I big up the woman, I've noticed that my money goes up in monthly subscriptions and in monthly views. So and I'll be getting more buy orders on my sweatshirts that I'm trying to sell. So I'm not gonna mention that women need to humble down or they're gonna get jacked up. I'm not gonna mention that 7 women should take hold of one man now because the women are gonna get offended by that. The women are gonna get offended by that part. So I'm trying to get the money, and we all know what the scriptures say anyway in Isaiah 4:7. So we don't need to just keep beating them over the head with it. We don't need to keep going into that. The women need help. In fact, it's the men that need to fix up what the men need to fix up. Yeah, let me get a scripture that men are supposed to pay, and I'm gonna twist it and say that men are supposed to pay for everything in a woman's life, and I'm gonna forget everything that it says in Proverbs 31, and now I'm gonna make it like women have to pay, men have to pay for everything in a woman's life, even though she ain't even no virgin when she gets with him, and it's not really his wife according to the Bible, but that's how these people do, man. Verse 10. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And this isn't only going to happen to women, man. A lot of you antagonistic people out here in this world that you was running around prior, before you was running around saying, get them out, mate. Get them out, mate. Well, okay. Now they're bringing things where you're going to have to identify yourself, and you ain't going to be able to just play off the, I'm a white-skinned Christian heterosexual man. What you on about? I was born here, mate. Okay, prove it. Show us your card, mate. Show us your Brit ID, mate. Show me. Show me? Of course, you could be Polish, mate. What you on about? You could be Romanian for all I know. You could be Russian. You could be Ukrainian. Was you born here, mate? And initially, they're gonna think that this, oh yeah, mate. I've been doing my bit, mate. We finally, and they're gonna be trying to come up to people that have got brown skin. Show us your brick card, mate. They're going to be coming up with all that. Prove it, mate. Show us your ID. Show us your ID, mate. Have you got one? Have you got one? And then eventually people are going to get fake ones. And we're like, oh, we need more measures. We need more measures. And you know what the measure's going to be? The prophecy written in the Bible, Revelation 13 and verse 16, man. And then let's see how proud you people are. All these, you're going to see, you're going to see some fine women. Women that men would fall out the sky for right now. A lot of them are going to be taken at MOTB, man. A lot of them. A lot of them super beautiful, curvy women, and they're going to be taken at MOTB. A lot of them are, man. You think they got any dignity or integrity? No. They're going to take the MOTB real quick, man. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease. Be troubled ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fields, for the fruitful vine. Right? It's going to get real for all of you people down here, man. And as it's getting realer and realer, you people are going to be trying to find people that was teaching about the Hebrew Israelite doctrine, which is the new song of the Bible. And you're going to be seeking to find those people, and you're not going to be able to find them. But if some of you do manage to stumble upon those people, they're going to tell you to kick rocks and get the hell out of their face. They ain't going to be sitting down and breaking down the scriptures to you. So they ain't going to have a reader and a brother there, and the brother's going to read, and then the other brother's going to break it down. And he's going to go, yo, get me Romans 9, There ain't going to be no get me Romans 9. There's going to be get the hell up out my face. I ain't talking. Remember, we're crazy, right? Remember, these you were saying that these men were wearing shower curtains, right? So why are you in front of their face now? You were saying these men are wearing their nan's curtains. That's what y'all was saying. So why are you in front of them now? You thought you knew what was going on in life. So be on it then. You all thought you knew. You was talking all kind of smack. Go to Vocab Malone and figure it out from him, man. He was the guy that he was trying to use to rebuke and chase the Israelites all over the globe. So when it goes down, go to him and see what he's got to say about everything, man. Go find him. Go ask him what's going on in it, and ask him to break down why the people now need an ID to walk down a damn street. Go to him and ask him why I tried to record a police officer that was doing something dodgy to somebody, and it bust me over the head with a baton, and I was bleeding all over the place, and I got arrested. I got arrested for resisting the peace. You're gonna have to eventually. You people are gonna have to answer those questions, man. It's been made illegal to record officers now. This is not the Britain I grew up in anymore. Yeah, this is not the Britain I grew up in anymore, people. I'm gonna really realize that it's not the Britain you grew up in anymore, man. And you clowns that were chasing for this, get them out, mate. Get them all out, mate. Deported a lot of them, mate. Right? All of you people. How do you prove who you are? That's what I want to know. What makes you the person that's the right to be here under the new infrastructure that they're going to bring in? They're going to want to question who you are. You people will be like, yeah, get him out, get him out, get him. And then eventually the get them is going to be you. And we don't care. We're just pointing out that it's going to fall upon you as well. We're not trying to side with you and become your friends. To hell with y'all. Y'all are all Edomites, as far as I'm concerned. We're just I'm pointing out that you're going to face it too. You're going to face the same table that you was trying to make a snare for us. It's going to be made a snare for you. The same way how you wanted everyone else shut down and slammed out. You're going to find yourself like that. You're going to find yourself in the same position that you was hoping everyone else was going to end up in, man. Now, let me get this. Because men now in this, like, I find it real frustrating, man. Right? Because there's a lot of men in this world that they walk around. And I'm not the toughest guy in the world or none of that. Not even close, man. Right? I'm not even close to that. But there's a lot of men in this world that they walk around with such pride. And you can tell that the reason why they walk around with pride is because they've never had a fist hit their jawbone, man. They've never had a foot pressed into their chest, man. They've never had a shin bone wrapped around their neck, kicked in their head, man. So therefore, because of that, pride can pass them about as a garment because they've just been able to get through this world. Their parents never smacked them, right? They was like, "Oh, don't hit him. He's a baby. He's only little." Their mom was overprotective of him. He's only little. Nah, screaming their mouth off when the dad was trying to put some judgment on their little punk ass kid. When I was a punk ass kid, man, they escaped all the times when they were supposed to get judged through the school system, and then they get to an adult age, and then now they're just in front of people with a phone, stepping all up in people's face. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. With a phone, they'll bring a phone like within 2 centimeters of someone's face, talking about I'm not touching you. You know, that's what these people do, man. These auditors and all of these kind of people, they go around just antagonizing, going up to strangers. Like it's not normal behavior to just go up to people that you don't know while recording on camera and start speaking to them. That's not normal. That's not normal behavior, man. I don't care how many of you YouTubers exist. That is not normal. Everyone on the earth is not a YouTuber. It's not normal to just go up to people, recording them on the street, man. That's not normal, man. That's not normal behavior. It's just not. Like, how many YouTubers like that are they really? 100,000? And how much people are on the earth in general? It's not normal to do that, man. But you scumbags go around antagonizing people like that, man. And the day is gonna come where even you people get humbled, man. When all hell breaks loose in this society, a person that was spending most of their time just going around with a camera antagonizing people, what good are they gonna be? L chat, L's in the chat, L's in the chat, oh, L chat, L mans, and all this bullshit that these people talk. What are you gonna be doing when all hell breaks loose, man? Some of these dweebs, these dweeb ass little nerds, man. These nerds that if this wasn't a thing over in the UK, but these nerds that would be getting a wedgie, you know what I mean? Get a wedgie, man. Give you a wedgie and a nuggie. These dweebs, nerds, man, that have somehow now managed, because they're a clown and everyone likes to laugh at them. Now they became famous from being a stupid idiot. And they think that because their folly made them have wealth, that actually means that there's something in this world, but folly setting great dignity in this earth. Little Nas X became a musician. Is he talented in music? Is he a Prince kind of talented musician? Not really. And even Prince was a weirdo. He was a weird freak too. Michael Jackson was a good musician, but guess what? He was a weirdo as well. He was weird and all, man. In fact, most of these musicians are weird, to be honest with you. Most of them are weird, man. The ones that are underground, they might not be weird, but they don't make it. The ones that make it, they're weirdos because they've did weird things to go the extra step. The first album, you only had to do a certain level of wickedness, but you want that third album? Or you want that third album, yeah? Okay, do this. And it's the same thing for you YouTubers, man. Or you want to get past this amount of subscribers? Okay. We'll invite you to a party that we're a little gathering that we're having on 36 Sell Your Soul Lane. and then what do y'all do when you get there, man? You weirdos. But y'all ain't gonna talk about that part, innit? Y'all are gonna talk about you just gotta grind and keep continually posting week after week. And eventually you're gonna make it, mate. You're gonna make it. Yeah, okay. You're gonna make it, all right. Make it with a charagma in your hand, man, and get absolutely destroyed. Revelation 14:9. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Because although I mentioned that there's men that walk around this world and they are proud because they've never been judged for being annoying, right? And never received any got jacked up for doing that. There's also men that go around this earth and they can fight and they are tough, but they're gonna be humbled as well, man. They're gonna be crying. They're gonna be crying, man. There's anyone that knows anything about this world for real, when it comes to that whole fighting thing and trying, there's always somebody else that can beat you up, man. I don't care how good any fighter is in professional rankings. somebody could catch them on the right night and whoop their ass, man. A fighter that they've beat one day, some of the people that they've got W's on their record, on a different night, that would be a L. On another night, that would be a draw. Right? There's always somebody else. There's plenty of people that don't even train in those kind of sports, man. And if you wouldn't want to mess with those people, if you caught them people on the right day, they'd wrap you up, man. And they ain't even did no training. They just been given it in that realm by Yahweh. There's plenty of people like that, man. And then there's the people that have been given it by Yahweh and they're trained, and they've been given it by Yahweh on the left hand side though. Them super soldiers that Esau's gonna have, that are gonna be running through the streets, putting people under restrictions. They ain't gonna be down here for righteous. And all you people that you've got a nice roundhouse kick, yeah. Okay, is that gonna stop these super soldiers that are gonna be running around? Is that gonna stop these troops that are gonna be running around, going upside people's head, taking what they want when they want? After hours, when the city's locked down, oh, they're keeping us. They'll keep the city under quarantine, all right. And then they become the men of power over every single little individual part of the town or of the city now. And what do the women love more than anything? Power. So then those women that you now thought was rocking with you, they're gonna go to those men, man. I've already pictured in my mind several scenarios of that kind of stuff, man, where cities get quarantined off, and some certain women try and roll upon these guys that are now the official people, but by the elected, you know what I mean, by Esau's government and all that, right? And the women try and run upon them. Oh, that one's fit, mate. That one's fit, mate. And then they end up in a situation that that person's like, you don't get to decide whether this was going to happen or not. I'm deciding. And that's one of the things that a lot of these proud women are not prepared for, man. It speaks in the scriptures about people's wives are going to be ravished. And I don't need to say any more about it than that. And that's not saying that, me saying that Hebrew Israelites are going to be doing that. No, you wicked ass people in this world that don't believe in any kind of laws. You don't believe in the laws of Yahweh is what's supposed to govern the earth. You just believe that you can do whatever you want, and you people speak like that. When somebody says to you, why are you recording me? I can do what I want, mate. When somebody says to you, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that, your first response is, I can do what I want. So you're going to see what it's like to live in a world where people just do what they want. And let me get this prophecy on that. That's one of the biggest sayings that people in this world say, I can do what I want. Okay. Well, you're going to get the chance to see a world where everyone does what they want. And then what happens when everyone's doing what they want and what one person wants contradicts what another person wants? What happens then? The person that gets their own will is the person, right, that's got the power in their hand, whoever's stronger. And you women are not really that strong. Even you women that go gym, y'all ain't really that strong, man. Y'all ain't been in no fight. Even men that go to the gym, like, this is what people don't understand. Even men that go to the gym and just lift weights, they end up making their body stiff and rigid. They can't really even move. Those men can't even fight and defend themselves a lot of the times against men that might have just did a man might have did 1 year of boxing or kickboxing when he was 12 to 13 years old and then stopped and never did it ever again. He'd be more likely to defeat a person that's been training on the weights in a fight in a lot of cases, man, because he actually understands fighting. In most situations, a person that's just did 6 months of boxing, 6 months of kickboxing, I ain't really going to say karate because I don't really think that they teach proper full contact. But 6 months of boxing or kickboxing, maybe Muay Thai or something like that, they'll be more likely, it's definitely with boxing though, they'll be more likely to be able to beat up a lot of people. And it's not even, here's the thing, it's not even about that when it comes to getting salvation. It's not even about that. But the point I'm making is that people in this world, especially women, have been running around saying, I would do what I want. But what's it going to get like when everyone's doing what they want then? Because whenever these people are saying, I'll do what I want, mate, or no, I can do what I want to do, they're always saying that while somebody else is now having to be restricted from what they want to do. But the time's going to come where Yahweh's going to just release it all. Okay, since everyone wants to do what they want to do, now I'm going to give everyone the chance to do what they want to do. Feminists, you can do what you want to do, right? Misandrists, you can do what you want to do. People that are unalivers, you can do what you want to do. Thieves, you can do what you want to do. Or like all the dark works that people do on this earth, the time's gonna come where they're all just gonna Yahweh's gonna free up and allow all of these people to just do whatever they want to do. And then we're gonna see if all you people that were just wanting a world of lawlessness are gonna be seeking that. First thing you're gonna be doing is crying for Esau to humble it down. But then you're gonna realize now we need even stronger humbling down than that. And it's gonna be the Israelites that are gonna humble this society now, man. Because when the Israelites of the elect get beamed up in them chariots, what the hell is going to be happening down here on this earth? You think all the fighting just ends once the Israelites of the elect get beamed up in them chariots? No. The fighting's going to very much still be going on, and the fight's going to take place when the Israelites come back down, as far as I've read in Ezekiel 38. When the Israelites come back down, they're going to begin fighting again. Once in their new state of being, man. That's what I've understood from reading that book of that chapter of the Bible. Anyway, Ezekiel 38, that the elect, once they've been changed, pretty much they're gonna come back down and be fighting with Esau, man. Those ones that are still around. Verse 4, 2 chapter 15 and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So all the people that currently now, people kind of restrict themselves and they're like, you know what? I could crash out, but I got work in the morning. I could crash out, but I got to pay my mortgage. I could crash out, but you know what? I really want to go to that concert next week. I could crash out, but next week's Friday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm gonna go out on the Raz on the town and have a few bevies. I could crash out, but you know what? I got a holiday booked in 3 weeks. I could crash out, but then it's almost Halloween, and I've got a Halloween party that I want to go to. I could crash out, but you know what? It's gonna be Saturday soon. I could crash out, but you know what? I don't want to go to jail. The time's gonna come where all those inhibitors to making you people want to crash out, those things that they think I could crash out, but the but's gonna be taken away because they're gonna know that they have nothing. So they ain't gonna say I could crash out, but I got work in the morning, because their job's gonna be taken away. They ain't gonna say I could crash out because it's Friday, because Friday ain't gonna mean anything. Friday only means something right now because on a Friday people go out and they go to the nightclub. The time's gonna come where the nightclubs are gonna be very scarce, man. The nightclub thing's gonna be very scarce. It's already becoming dead from what I hear people complaining about online. Online, you hear people complaining, oh, the nightclub's ruined, men ain't really men anymore and all this. They come with all that. The women are stuck up, they're this and that. Like, it's already happening. That inhibitor that makes people not crash out. Oh, I could crash out, but I got to pay my mortgage. They're gonna realize that ain't it. Or I could crash out, but I've got myself 25 bitcoins, and that's totaled at least a couple million. My bitcoins that I got, like, yeah, that's what it would be, right? 25 bitcoins would be at least like 2.5, close to 3 million. So they'd be like, I would crash out, but I really think Bitcoin's gonna make it to 500k soon. So I'm just gonna relax and chill out because I've got things invested in this society. The people are gonna crash out when they realize that that's fallen away, man. They're gonna be free to be their real self, and all these people that say I'll do what I want to do. Okay, you're gonna get to experience what a society of everyone just doing what they want to do looks like. All these women that run around saying I should be able to dress how I want to dress like. Well, there's people on the reverse side that think that they should be able to do whatever they want to do to somebody that dresses like whatever they want to dress like. And Yahweh Shem Yahawashi is going to open up the society so that you people get to experience that you really want to live in a world that's got laws. And the laws that you want to live under are the laws of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahawashi. But you people in your pride was thinking that it's better to just be lawless. But really, you don't think it's better to be lawless. Really, you wanted what your weirdness is about you to be legalized and wanted everybody else that's against it for it to be illegal. Because you people, the same people that would say that they should be able to be a man with a man would also be people that would say that it's not right for a man to have more than one wife. These times, by their perversion, they're making it be more women available for men to be with. Now, let me say that again, right? The same men in this society that would say that it's okay for a man to be with a man, right, would be the same men that would complain that a man wants to have multiple wives. They wouldn't fight for a man to be able to have multiple wives, even though through their lifestyle, they're making it be more women available for men to be with. Because they're not now with a woman, they're with a man. So what's that woman that they were supposed to be with supposed to do now? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But you weirdos haven't considered that. You weirdos haven't considered how the true qualifier for if something is good or not is this. If everybody does it make the world a better place? So when it comes to you LG3T people, you alphabeters and rainbowers out there, if everyone was an alphabetter and rainbower, would the world be a better place? Or would it just all humans just go extinct? What would happen? And then that's where one of you clowns comes through and said, "Yeah, but we could do him put inhibit. We could just do it insemination, mate. We could just get the thing and inseminate it, mate. Okay, what's the point of that? If there's already a natural way that the Heavenly Father created, what would be the need to do it that way when the Heavenly Father's already made a natural way for that to be done? What's the point? But you people don't consider that, man. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And women are going to be the most affected by that because they love gallivanting at themselves, man. Whenever these women in this society, they feel a bit insecure, they might not be where they want to be in life, career-wise. They might have broke up with an ex. They might have this or they might have that. They might just be wanting their ego stroked. They get up in front of their mirror, put on a bit of makeup, throw on some yoga pants, wear a push-up bra, wear some tight-fitting clothes, show a bit of leg, walk around the city and be like, why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me? Why are they watching me? You've dressed like that on purpose. Because you got all them yoga pants on, clamped around your body. You don't do yoga. You don't do yoga. You've got your whole chest hanging out. It's -3 degrees. Like, what are you doing? You've got your legs all hanging out, but there's men walking the streets that have got a big, long trench coat on, woolly, that's insulated, thermal, but somehow you're in a miniskirt. Okay, and you ain't cold somehow, right? Okay. Keep telling yourself that. Verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And E's version of pride is alphabet and rainbow, and his pride is men wearing dog masks and metal vests, walking on the street being weirdos, man. That's his pride. That's his version of pride, man. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with a sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Once that food gets low, you women are gonna really find out how insignificant you are, man. You're gonna have to beg for a slice of hovis, man. A lot of you women are gonna have to beg a man for some bread. And all of you women that right now have been talking all that, I don't want to go Cheesecake Factory, getting on TikTok saying, here's a list of places that you men shouldn't be trying to take women out. You better know a queen, a real queen when you see one. All of that, that's going to go right down the pan. Some of you women out there that you've said, I pray that I see you in the day of the Lord, you know, to men that Yahweh set up to teach. Some of you are going to be humbled. And you might see that man that you was asking to see. You might actually live to see, get your request answered, man. Running up talking your mouths off. Let's get this scripture, man. That one where the men are gonna fall away through the sword, man. In fact, you know what? Let me get this. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who would deliver me in those days? And this was said by my man that the spirit of Yahawashi was dealing with heavy. And he was wondering, man, who's gonna deliver me in these times? Verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginnings of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginnings of evils, and what shall I do when these things shall come? So even the people that even these nations that own armies, they're gonna be scared when this war takes place, because this war that's getting ready to take place on the earth is not about. It doesn't even really necessarily even matter too much about who's got the biggest army numbers wise, because this battle is gonna be with flames and fire. Right? This battle is going to be about who's ultimately got the best ICBM power and can it land. That's what it's going to be about. And everybody on this earth knows who's got the best, Russia. But America's ones ain't too far off from theirs. And that's why the president of America said to the president of Ukraine, you're playing around with World War III, because they're trying to avoid doing it. But really, the spirit of Yahweh is not against it being avoided. The spirit of Yahweh is exactly for it happening. And he's holding it steady, because that event is when he's going to reveal his son to the world. The moment that them ICBMs are shot off at America, which is Babylon the Great, to the point where America is not going to be inhabited no more and is going to be completely destroyed, that is the moment when the world is going to see Yahawashi, right? That's when it's going to happen, man. Because the elect that are over there are going to need to be saved. And it's also going to cause for everyone else to start shooting theirs off. So once America feels threatened in that regard, they're going to shoot theirs off. Then everyone else is going to be like, well, we may as well shoot ours. Because if we don't shoot ours off, we ain't going to get a chance to shoot them off, because we're going to be destroyed. And it will end up just bringing more damage to us. And the one ICBM would ultimately cause for the ICBM that's on their own land to be destroyed and explode itself. So they'd end up being further destroyed by their own ICBMs. So the best way for them to get rid of it would be to they may as well shoot it off, right? And that's gonna happen on this earth, man. And hopefully, when it does happen, I'm not down here. That's what I hope. Because some of you people, you scoffers, will be like, you're saying this, that you want this for the earth, but where are you gonna be? Hopefully not down here. Hopefully. Yahweh Bar Shem Yahweh Shai will, man, I'm not down here with you people when that takes place. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not, you see what I mean? But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. And that's these people, man. No matter how bad it's been getting, these people are still proud. When the lockdown came, these people became fake conspiracy theorists for a few months. But when it opened back up again, them conspiracy theories, they threw them out the window. They threw all that out the window, man. These women was trying to find any excuse to gallivant themselves out, trying to dress up to go out and out the house and that. You know what I mean? But there's times gonna come where a woman trying to just show a bit of leg in a fight, some thigh, some leg, you know what I mean? A bit of ankle, a bit of chest, gal them whole batty crease curving out. The time's gonna come where that's not gonna mean anything, man. People ain't gonna care about that. People ain't gonna get gassed about it. They're gonna be like, where the food at, man? Is there any? They're gonna move that. Yo, move your big boot yourself out of the way. Yo, get your fine ass out of the way, man. I think there's some tin peaches in here. I think there's some tin peaches with syrup in here in this store. Get out of my way, man. Oh man, sweet dude. Is that a tin of mushy peas? That's what they'd rather find a tin of mushy peas than you. And the thing is, a lot of you women ain't gonna be looking like what you look like now when it goes down as well. Anyway, that's gonna be another thing that humbles you. When you read Isaiah the 3rd chapter, it speaks about all the things that women put on. And I've heard women say this in real life, man, that makeup and all of these kind of things are their armor, right? And when you read Isaiah the 3rd chapter from the verse 16 down, it goes into how ultimately these women put on these things as armor, right? And that's why when these women, you'd never see a woman more proud when she spruced up, man. And also, when you actually consider how proud Eve is right now, the average, I'm on about the ones that Apostle Ricard calls Big Shirley, right? Just picture all these Big Shirleys that are actually fat and they're actually ugly and they're still proud and arrogant. Now imagine if that same woman was fine as hell and she wasn't bald headed. How proud do you think she'd be then? Because you wouldn't even be able to call her Big Shirley. She wouldn't be big. She wouldn't be a Big Shirley. She'd be fine as hell. And she wouldn't be a nappy headed hoe. She'd be a nice haired woman that's proud. But you think she's going to be more proud in that regard or less? Because she's already proud now. And that's why Yahweh had to do that to them, because then there's at least a few things, at least that two, you're fat as hell and your hair is short. Those two things that they can be said to them that kind of stop them in their tracks for a bit, that they might be proud about publicly when people are telling them about themselves about it. But then when they go home, they cry about it. There's at least those two things, man. Those two continuously. Let's carry on reading. Verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And that's going to happen. There's going to be people that are going to escape starving to death, but they're going to end up getting rolled on because somebody wants their food, right? Because of the lack of bread. And for great tribulation, a man's going to rise up against his neighbor with a sword because of the lack of bread, the lack of food available right where they are. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. There ain't going to be no one to bury the amount of bodies that's going to be available. Just cast out. They ain't going to be. There's not going to be, man. I saw a video just today, and it was like a fight broke out in a nightclub or something, like one of these body cam things. And a fight broke out in a nightclub, and there was about 5 people unconscious, man. And even that was like mischief. Never mind 5 people unalived, splattered all over the place. Never mind 500. When in this society, in the so-called Western societies, do people ever see that happen? They don't see that. They're not used to that, man. It's gonna become like a zombie apocalypse on these streets of these countries, man. The brother Ramar, the elder Ramar, man, he always goes into how it's gonna get like children and men over here. And I watched that movie recently, right? I watched that movie like within the last 2 weeks, and I was looking at because I've watched that movie so many times. I was pausing when I was watching it this time and looking at the background, right? And in the background of that movie, it said that Africa was hit by a nuke, and it was in 2027. And it said Africa was hit by a nuke, man. Africa was hit by a nuclear fire. It mentioned Charles. It mentioned Charles in the background and the newspapers in the background. And when the guy gets the thing put over his head and he gets taken away, like early on in the movie, it was mentioning Charles. He says people want Charles thrown out, but it had thrown spelt like a throne that you sit on rather than throwing a ball. And that's heavy because at the time when the movie was made, I think it was made in 2026, you couldn't definitely with 100% certainty prove that he would be the person in charge of England in that regard right then. You couldn't prove that, right? Yet he is, though. So isn't that heavy? Right? And for the people that have watched that movie, watch it again and just go to that scene, and you'll see in the newspapers in the background, they had all these things that they was talking about in the background, man. They had all these different they had these fertility tests that they were doing in the background, right? It was illegal. It was illegal. There was signs in the background of the movie showing them making it illegal to resist having a fertility test, right? They had a whole bunch of things going on, man, in that movie, right? They had old women getting thrown in cages because they're illegal, right next to big 6'3" men that looked like they could bend iron. They was getting thrown right in with them, man. But the technology was great, though. You had this guy, the guy that had the some like ancient Greek statue in his house, His son was like tapping on the keys on some hologram computer. They had that kind of technology, but the society all around them was ruined. Like they put a lot of effort into that movie. They even had a building in that movie that didn't exist at the time, and they put it in there. They made sure that the movie was going to be in the movie. I mean, that the building was going to be in the movie. I think it was the Shard. They made sure that the building was going to be in the movie because they knew what year they wanted to set the movie in, and by the time that the movie was that the year that would the movie was based in, it would have existed at that time. So they wanted it to be more realistic to the time that the movie was set in. They put a lot of effort into that movie, man, and in the background of that thing, they had all kind of different stuff being shown, man. Charles thrown. They want Charles thrown, or he said something like Brits want Charles thrown out, right? And it said Africa was hit by a nuclear missile as well in the movie. It said that, right? So who knows, man? Is the day gonna come where that happens? Well, really, we know that it's gonna happen all over the earth anyway. But is there gonna be a specific event where something like that takes place? Maybe, but that's not the prophecies that we're waiting for anyway. We're waiting for the MOTB, civil war, world war, which would obviously involve Africa anyway, right? Civil unrest and the return of Yahawashi. That's what we're waiting on. We ain't really getting into the every single detail of all of these things. We're thinking of it from the macro view, that this whole thing ends with Yahawashi returning and the Hebrew Israelites being the rulers of the earth. Now, there's plenty of other details that are going to happen within that, but we don't need to know all of those. We only need to know the end thing of it all. All right, let me carry on reading, man. Verse 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? There ain't gonna be no one gathering grapes and raspberries and putting them in a pot to sell in Asda. There ain't gonna be people making strawberry jam conserve, or strawberry jam reserves, or whatever the hell it's called, man. That you can put on your scones with some cream fresh or creme cheese or whatever the hell it's called, man. That ain't gonna be going on. For of a city shall there be 10 left, and 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves. Right? Let me read verse 26. The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men. So men, all these women that are talking, all these men, the world having men in it, it's better without men. Decent. Okay, you're gonna get to see what it's like with that. For that, you're gonna get to see what it's like with the numbers of men reduced, man. Because it's not going to be you just the numbers of men get reduced and you just get to stay with the society that men actually maintain. No, the world's going to be destroyed, and the numbers of men are going to reduce, man, because the war is going to be going on at the time. That's the thing that's going to reduce the numbers of men. So that one man shall desire to see another and hear his voice, and that's not just literally talking about men. It's going to be talking about women. You women love attention. Even you women love attention so much from men, right? That y'all will literally, right? You'll literally go out on a date with a man that you don't like and use him for a date. That's how much you desire to be seen of men. That you don't have the dignity of your own self to be like, you know what? I don't care if this guy can take me to a restaurant that I actually want to eat the food from. I don't like this guy, and I'm going to value my own time more so that I'm not going to go out on a date with this guy that I know I don't like. I know I'm not going to sleep with him. I know I'm not interested in this guy at all. I'd rather either pay for myself to go to this place or not go. Right? You even don't have the dignity in yourselves to even do that. You ain't got those kind of things. So you think a woman like that won't take the MOTB? Of course she will. Right? Of course she will, man. Verse 33. The virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. And that's what these women are going to be crying about. They say now that, oh, men ain't this, men ain't this, and men ain't that. No, they're going to be crying for men. They already are. Right? They already are, man. But there's still men that give them the time and give them what they're looking for. There's just less opportunities for them to get that. But the time's going to come where men are going to be so hungry, they're not going to care about a woman's big booty and none of that kind of old pretty face. Oh, I want to take her out on a date. The men ain't going to be begging you to pay your whole bills. Because that's what is happening in this society. A man's supposed to prove to you why he should have to pay for everything in your life. That's what you mean actually think in this society, man. The man's got to prove to you why you should allow him the honor of paying for every single thing that you currently pay for now yourself, and everything that you might want him to pay for in the future. He's got to prove that he's worthy to pay for your whole lifestyle. On the off chance that occasionally, when you choose, you're gonna give him some. Yeah, oh yeah, that's a real great deal. Oh, thanks, sweetheart. Yeah, of course. Nah, obviously not. Right, obviously that's not a good deal, is it? Verse 34, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish with famine. And I'm just gonna end it there, man. The freedoms of you people are gonna be taken away, right? And then you people are gonna try and rebel against it, and then everyone's gonna have freedom. And you people are gonna cry for the MOTB, and you're gonna take it, and then you're gonna be destroyed, and then you're gonna go into captivity under the Israelites. That's what the future beholds for all you people, man. Right now, you're losing your liberties, your civil liberties, and all that. Oh, I can't do what I want to do, mate. I can't say what I want to say anymore, mate. Then you're gonna cry. You're gonna lose more and more. You're gonna rebel against it. Then everyone's gonna be free to do what they want to do, and there's gonna be riots all over the world. Then you're gonna be begging because it gets too much for you. You're gonna be begging for the MOTB and for the society to be kind of put back into some kind of structure. You're gonna get destroyed for taking the MOTB. Then Yahawashi returns in World War III, and then you people end up in the captivity under us, and you're not gonna be able to just do what you want to do. You're gonna have to keep the laws of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. Right? That's what the future beholds for you people, man. And for us as Israelites, that's a beautiful future. Right? And the laws, in time, you're gonna find that the laws of the Heavenly Father are beautiful. Right? But it's gonna take a long time for you people to really understand that the world's never going back to what you hope it's gonna go like, man. Whatever society that you people are talking about when you're saying about making this place great again or that place great again, it's not ever going back to that. Never. Right? You pick your ruler. Right? Do you want it to be Esau or do you want it to be Jacob? That's the only choice. And it's gonna be Jacob anyway. But all you people that are hoping that it's gonna be Esau, okay, choose him then. But it's gonna end badly for you all. Right? And I'm ending the video there. Shalom to the nation of Israel. Shalom.